Evening, evening. Right, so I'm gonna just check to see if this is actually working. Right, sorry about that. Just had to make sure the bloody audio is working. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit hard because the way I trade at the moment, which is the old way I used to trade back around Christmas time and before, is it's very much what happens within the first few seconds, stroke minute to 2:30. So I'll try and do a bit of analysis. Like before, but then the entry is going to be sort of fabricated in a way because I can't enter it live. But basically, we're at 229 on the 7th of July. Now, there's a little bit of a fair value gap here, which also has the 200 EMA on it. When it comes to the 1 minute, I do quite like using the EMAs. Um, so I'd like something to sweep up here. Um, I mean, if we were going for, if it was going to shoot down, I'd be looking for something in this area. I think that's what I had marked up. If we look on the five, we've already hit the 5 minute 200 EMA. So I don't think personally, I think we're going to take the highs. Um, take the highs. I think we're going to sweep up and then potentially come back down. Um, I've got a feeling that's what it does do, to be fair, from memory. So we'll see. Because all this week I traded as well. So all these are genuine trades, anything that I show you. Um, boom, there you go. So let's just say we got in there, middle of our area, because that's pretty much where I would have tried to get in. I think got 1 to 4. Don't know if it hit 1 to 4. Don't even know if this taps down too far yet. There you go. There's that. Bloody lovely. Um, so yeah, quite aggressive really, but essentially, um, what I'm looking for, and there isn't a lot to it. If I clear the chart, what I'm basically looking for is at 2:30, this candle here, the 1 minute candle, he's going to shoot up or he's going to shoot down or he's going to do a bit of both. But essentially, to make things really easy, really mechanical, if I've got an area marked here, um, and it shoots up, takes that and starts pulling back like this obviously shot straight through and then started pulling back. As soon as that happens, I would have sold. If you'd have waited for a candle close, yes, technically that is a typical sweep candle. Like look at the size of that. Typical sweep candle. You could have got in down here. You could have gone, oh look, started dropping on the next candle. We'll get in. But you've then I just find it a lot more risky. Like, yes, you still would have hit a 1 to 4, but on a shit day, you probably got swept out. Like that could have shot back up here and retested the EMA, whereas my entry would have been up here somewhere really quick. Um, but the trick is just to enter once with it. Um, but yeah, that is basic, the real basic, real simple. What I do like doing beforehand though is having a look at the higher time frame. I don't use it as gospel for this, but we've been in an uptrend. You know, we've essentially been bouncing off this 15-minute 200 EMA for fucking ages. Oh, there's a nice one I got the other day. Um, we've been going mad with this. Uh, I'm in a nice big gap here. So essentially, I would have been looking for sells anyway. And on the 15 minute, actually, this actually looks even better. So we've got a nice big fair value gap there, which it tapped just, well, nearly filled it. I know we've got more fair value gap up here, but I would have been happy entering there, which I did. But I do use the high time frame a little bit, but not massive amount. I just use it as a bit of a guide because essentially it all comes down to what the 1 minute does. Because if that had swept down first, I'd have bought regardless. Um, but yeah, that's a day one. Don't know if I can't remember if you can pause this. Don't know. We'll just speed on to the next one, which I've already got marked up. So we'll just sort of fly through them. Um, right, so I think I can't remember. This must have been a stop loss day, but um, in 230. Yeah, so I would have sold there. I think this is a break even day for me. Um, but essentially we've got a nice bit of fair value gap there, a couple of highs there. Um, and then 230, where's that? Yeah, 230's there. So that's, as soon as that's come in, it's wicked up, taken that. I've sold out of it. Um, I can't remember what I got. I don't think I would have stop lost on this because I wouldn't have let myself get to 1 to 3 and then reverse. Um, but again, nice and simple. Let's do the bar replay. Nice and simple. And the beauty of this is, again, 5 minute EMA. It's been below it for ages. It's broke through, failed to continue through, come down, come up, failed to break through again. So, and it's looking like it wants to come down anyway. It's not taking the previous high. So, we've had basically a rejection off of it again, almost. You could have had that as a higher zone there if you wanted to. You could have said, actually, I mean, I know it doesn't look like it's on there, but you could have said I wanted a higher entry, which meant later on, once it shot back up, you probably would have got tapped in, still would have got stop lost. So it's basically reacting to what happens on the 230 candle. That pushed up, obviously took that little fair value gap, and on this chart there is actually a proper little gap there as well, which is sort of touched almost. But yeah, it's shot up, so I sold. Simple. Very basic. That's the basic way of looking at it. When you start looking at the 5 minute and the 15 minute, that's just adding more confluences to it or more confusion, to be honest. I never used to bother looking at the higher time frame stuff, but now I do a little bit more. But yes, that was the Tuesday. So that would have had a 1 to 3. And what I recommend with this, if you're starting this strategy, is go for 1 to 3s because you'll see a lot of the trades do hit 1 to 3. They don't all go 1 to 4, but 1 to 3 is pretty consistent. Boom. So what have we got here? This is a late trade. If I took that, that's late. That's not exactly 230. Um, yeah, so this is a weird one, really. Still would have been a warranted trade, but it's not moved a lot. So 230's there. Hasn't actually swept anything. I did take this trade, I remember now. I waited for price to come down here, and I think I got in like there. I don't know why it's down here. Oh no, maybe I did get in that afterwards. Yeah, I did get in down there. That's why I put it there. Yeah, so I actually missed the entry here because I thought it wasn't doing anything. The actual entry would have been this here. So it would have been there. So may or may not have stayed in by that. And to be honest, by the time I would have got in, I might have been up here. But I remember I missed it, and then I looked back over it a few minutes later. I was like, shit, I should have taken that. Well, anyway, it come back down and took this little area, that nice little 1 minute fair value gap there. And I remember getting in this later because I saw how far it went, and yeah, green eyes. But that was a lovely trade. Obviously, didn't hold it that far. I took my 1 to 4, and that was it. Um, oh no, this is what I did have. I did have a big trade out of this. I think I had like a 1 to 5.5 in the end because I pulled out. I pulled out here thinking it was coming back down, and it shot up. But yeah, the 1 to 4 would have been there, nice and easy. But again, reacting out of what that done, the 230 candle only took a bit of imbalance. May or may not have kept you in, but out of out of pure thought that it was going to go up, I re-entered. Right, this is a lovely one. Can't get much cleaner than that. So again, 1 minute imbalance marked here. If I was buying, don't really know. There was nothing really there to take for buys, but that looked clean enough to me. Again, we'd sorry, sales. We've been below on the 1 minute 200 EMA. We've got a nice bit of imbalance there. Um, it smashed through it quite a lot, but I think I got in because that wasn't pulling back too far. I think I got in literally as this dropped, I sold from memory. But yeah, lovely, lovely, wonderful there. I think that's all we did get out of that. See on the 5 minutes if it looks any cleaner. Not really. Might be an order block. No. Yeah. So it's nothing. It's not really taking anything there. I know it's taking the previous high, but for me, basic bit of imbalance and the fact that it's pushed up, you just trade in the opposite direction. Easy peasy, simple. Where are we going to now? Right. So this is this week now, 14th of July. So this was a good week. Um, he says, yeah. So for I don't know why that's there because I wouldn't have got in there. Yeah. So here. Trying to remember what I actually did do because I don't. I thought Monday. Oh no, Monday I did hit a clean 1 to 4. So on here, I think this is what I was looking at the 5 minute more for this one. But you've basically got the EMA below. We've broken through and fucked about on it basically. So I had a little feeling we were going to go up. Um, and we'd filled this gap. And then the 1 minute, I know we were up here on 230, but could have rejected off of here. But yeah, anyway, around this area, plenty of fair value imbalance on the 1 minute, imbalance on the 5 minute, EMA's below it. So yeah, as soon as that swept and started to go the other way, would have got in around here, and that was a very nice and easy, clean 1 to 4. Again, you could have held a lot longer, but I wouldn't personally. 1 to 4 is the maximum I'd go for this. You don't want to reduce your win rate, but yeah, nice, nice and easy. I hope this is all recorded. Sorry for the quality. I've done a little video for a little while. Um, right, Tuesday. I'm pretty sure think making sense because I'm pretty sure Tuesday I had a break-even trade. Um, yeah, I don't know what's going on next. I'm pretty sure Tuesday I had a break-even trade. That's what I tried buying. Bit not stupid. Surely not. Surely not. I thought Tuesday I hit break even. I can't remember, but this is a nice little trade. So 230 did fuck all. Nothing really swept there. Um, but 231, however, swept these highs. Maybe it's Wednesday that I had a break even. Um, yeah, somewhere you got in anywhere around there. To be fair, would have been lovely. 1 to 4 all day long. Um, and what is quite nice, what I do like to see, which sort of confirms the direction, is when you get this big push up and then big push straight back down. Usually I'm in there, but when you see that nice big candle, you know it's going down, even if it's only like 1 to 3. When it gets to 1 to 3, I'm always at break even, or you should be at break even. But yeah, again, nice and easy. That one really, EMAs weren't really with it, that, but we had loads of equal highs, almost equal highs. Um, yeah, not really a lot to say about that one, but again, it's all down to what the candle does on 230. This did do fuck all, but I would then expect the 231 candle to be the volume, like to do something, because that is tiny for a 230 candle. But there's the big push. So it's pushed up. So you're waiting for it to reject a little bit within the candle. And when I say reject in a candle, it's basically seeing the wick form a bit more. So when it pushes up with all that volume, obviously here it would have pushed up a bit more. As it started coming back down, it would have been straight in that. But yeah, nice and easy. So I think this is where I had a shit day. Yes, it is this day because I went almost 1 to 4. So 230 basically did nothing. It's not, I know it swept that little bit there, but that's nothing in terms of candle size. That 230 is nothing. That push down filled that imbalance here, filled this imbalance quite nicely. Well, I took it actually, and then it started pulling back, which obviously pretty much rejecting around the 200 EMA, which is something I love. Not sure exactly where I got and whether that's right, but I know I had about 1 to 3.5 because I saw it and I was fuming. Um, yeah, I had like 1 to 3.5, and then it come back down and took me out, which is shit. Um, really shit when you see that. And then I had a bit of a bad FOMO day and entered a few times trying to do other things. So yeah, not a good one. I should have just left it. But sillily, I was at break even when it hit 1 to 3. But then I think I moved it to, well, I either hit my break even or I did actually move it to 1% again, and it basically did some more entries and lost quite a bit. But with this strategy, you've just got to get over the fact that you wait all day for a few minute move. You could get swiped out within the first candle. You could be sat in there for fucking 40 minutes. But you basically enter once, just enter once and leave it. If you lose, you lose, move on till tomorrow. Because you could do what I do, and I lost like 2-3% here trying to do so. I don't even know what I was trying to do. But the next day I made it all back. That would have passed my challenges. That would have been a payout, you know. But instead I was just recovering losses from bad mentality. Anyway, just do up till today. This is Thursday. Thursday was a good day, very good day. So I like this one. I like this one because this is very clean. So what we have is a fair value gap on the 15 minute. We have the 15-minute EMA within it. So, and it's been above pretty much. I know it's been below a lot there, but it's broke above, come back through, and it's trying to stay up. So we've got the imbalance there and the EMA. 5 minute, we have got that's the same imbalance range. So I know there's not a lot of imbalance there, but still within the 15-minute imbalance, you've got the 5 minute 200 EMA as well, which is a good sign. Likes to reject off. Again, that's been above. And we've even got, where's it gone? Where the hell are we? Oh, 1 minute. My bad. Sorry, we've even got a rejection of the 200 EMA. I know it's broken through, but it's around it. It's still a rejection in my eyes. And that ploughed up quite nicely to 1 to 4. Again, could have held to like 1 to 9. I think this actually continues going up anyway. You could have held for ages, but 1 to 4 is a sweet spot. 1 to 3 is even better. You get a higher win rate, but I prefer a 1 to 4. It's nice round numbers. But yeah, so that was real nice because you had all 3 EMAs within it, and yeah, it took off. We'll do the last day, just today. Now, this is one Tom marked up, the old filament. Uh, don't know why they're there. Yeah, so this was basically what I wanted to see was something in this area. I think on the okay, now what's happened here? US30, thank you. What's happened here? So yeah, we had well, a BPR there actually. Nice bit of BPR there. But I was essentially looking for that. Oh my god. I was expecting some of this imbalance to get filled, but it literally moved so fast. Like we had a little sweep there. In hindsight, I should have got in. I normally go for like the middle of imbalance, but because price had been moving quite aggressively leading up to 230, I was a little bit wary. I just had a bad feeling about it, even though it looked like it was going to sell. I had a bad feeling. And I only needed a 1 to 3 for phase one and a payout. Um, but yeah, literally that swept up so fast, and then I was waiting for it to push up a little bit. I just thought, oh, it'll push up, and then as it rejects, I'll sell. Well, that was a mega move. I didn't even have time to like get in there. It just literally went straight down. So missed that by an inch, and that just disappeared into the bottom of the earth, basically. So that was a genuine mistrade. But stupidly, even though the higher time frame bias was sells, I did try buying around this area. Once we had that big push, I thought, no way is it going to keep going down now with all that momentum. I thought it would at least pull up for a bit or maybe get like a 1 to 2 or 3 out of it. I was wrong. I was wrong. Pushed down, well, probably all evening now. Quite a while. did get a little sell here though, from around here, from here down to here, a little 1 to 2. Um, but that was on a self-funded. I made like 10 quid. But yeah, that may not be informative. It may help. I don't know. But essentially, you're just waiting for the reaction out of this 1 minute candle on 230. It's good to get a guess or a feeling as to where you think price is going to go, but don't rely on that completely. I mean, here, higher time frame bias won, but I've had it many a times where you think on the higher time frame it's selling, but the 230 candle actually drops first, sweeps an area, then pulls back up, and then sells after. So you can actually get like a 1 to 3, 1 to 4 straight out the bat. Like on a normal day, well, on a good day we would have caught that there, but a move like this, you would have hoped to have brought back up, but this was just a bit of an abnormal day. It just literally dropped like a sack of shit. But yeah, all around the reaction at 230. Yeah, any other questions, mate? Just give us a shout.